Hello gorgeous humans, welcome to my channel. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Any of these videos, please like, dislike, comment, share, whatever you feel moved to. So today, this video is kind of going to be a blog post because a post that I published yesterday, which was 5 things I learned living in Medellin, Colombia. I want to do the video version, but this could also be, you know, things you should know before going to Colombia or before visiting, moving, literally whatever. So I'm going to read the main points from my actual blog post and then kind of elaborate on some of the things I said, or, you know, I got a story for everything. So let me say, I thought I was going to take my hair down today from these twists that I have pulled back, but then I was like, nah. And then I was like, I should probably put on a shirt. Again, nah. So I like have on my school hoodie from years and years and years ago, but that doesn't matter. So when it comes to Medellin, if you watched a lot of my videos from my time there specifically, you'll know that there were times where I would go into certain places, or like I sat in a restaurant for like 2 hours because there was a torrential downpour outside. And that kind of happened often. It wasn't an actual downpour every day, but it did seem like it rained every single day I was there. So does it rain every day? No. I haven't been there other times of year, but I was there during the rainy season, so I want to say it rains a lot more during, when was I there? November. Let's say mid-November to maybe mid-December-ish. You know, it rained during that period, and I'm sure their rainy season extends even further than that. But yeah, there would sometimes be, you know, rain for a few minutes or light showers, very, very light showers. I remember my, I want to say my second day there, so my first full day, I was walking down the street and I would feel light drops, but it never got too bad. I didn't need an umbrella or anything, so it does not rain every day, but during this time of year, it seems to rain most days, and it could be all day, which was rare for me, or it could be about an hour or 30 minutes. So it depends. It is literally the city of eternal spring, so you get spring weather there. Is it necessary to know Spanish? Now, let me first say, I do not speak any other languages at all. When it comes to Spanish, I could follow along a little bit or a lot of it, but there's gonna come a point in the conversation where I'm just like, no habla español, and yeah, there's gonna be an awkward silence because I don't know anything. A way that I get through most of my conversations is because I listen out for that one word that I can understand. For example, and this is an example I used in my blog post, so also in those vlogs, you probably saw me at the local supermarket, Éxito, like every day. And then I tried to slow it down to every other day. So when you get to the cash register, I'm not even going to try to imitate it. They'll say something, you know, aside from the like, hola or whatever, and then they'll ask you if you have a points membership or a points card or whatever, and that sentence ends in puntos. And so for my first visit to the Éxito, maybe it's from living in the United States where everybody wants to know if you have a loyalty card, so I immediately knew what they were asking me, and I'm just like, no, I don't. And then if they start asking me too many other things, I'm like, pump your brakes, sir, no habla español. So it helps to have some basic knowledge of Spanish. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to have too many conversations. My first well English speaking person who I didn't even really have conversations with was my host. He wasn't staying in the house with us, so that isn't really a good example. But my tour guide from the Real City Free Walking Tour, she was the first Colombian I met, you know, that was not my host, who had a full command. And even then, I want to say she had a full command of the English language, but then sometimes she would be like, well, how do you say? Or it's hard for her to translate certain things. Like, she may be able to tell you the meaning of the word she's trying to say, but she can't really think of that one English word that entire sentence would mean. So a lot of people do not know Spanish. I don't mind, don't care. You know, if I wanted to have all the conversations with all the people, I would have went there knowing Spanish, or I would have learned Spanish when I was there. That's another thing that people do. Like, everybody who goes there or plans to live for an extended period of time, they tend to, you know, pick up some Spanish lessons. And Spanish is not my favorite language. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Paris and France, and I would rather learn French before anything, but it's pretty tough for me. So it's hard to teach myself. So I'm still literally trying to learn French. Speaking of which, I need to like pick up on my lessons. So I would say day trips are life when visiting Colombia, specifically Medellin. I want to say I did maybe 4 major things that I was able to, you know, record and show you guys. I was fine chilling every day, or, you know, getting work done, a lot of things that I do off camera. But I can easily see how someone would get bored or not be impressed with the city. So day trips are kind of important. So that trip that I took to Guatapé, it was an all-day thing. Coming back took like 4 or 5 times longer than it should have, because there was an accident and there are like 2 lanes on the highway, and so we were creeping along. Like, luckily I didn't have to use the bathroom. We took so long to get back, and is it a 2-hour drive? I can't remember, but I want to say we got back like 2 hours late. So that was cool, and I'm glad that that took up a whole day. Me going to the Museum of Modern Art, you know, you can make that a full day adventure, even though it doesn't take that long to go to the museum. But, I don't know, go get something to eat before and after, or have drinks, or stay in the area, like stuff like that. What was something else I did? The walking tour was like 4 hours, and I guess you could check out some different areas before you meet up with the walking tour, or I want to say hang around somewhere afterwards, but where they dropped us off, they were like, we're going to take you into this park so we can tell you about the statue, and then we want you all to leave because we don't want you in here after a certain time of night. Like, it didn't seem dangerous or sketchy, but the way they were acting, it's like, all right, buddy system, who's leaving out of this park with me? What else? I want to say people took trips to other little is it pueblos or pueblos? Which one is it? Towns. Let's say towns. They went to other towns similar to Guatapé, and would stay for a couple days or just hang out. I didn't see a point in that, and although I enjoyed Guatapé, I'm glad that I visited. I don't regret it or anything weird. I couldn't see myself staying there for a couple days. I don't know why you would, but that's cool if you do. I just wasn't feeling it that much, where I'm like, I would love to stay here 2 days. But I actually know people who did, and I'm sure they loved it. So make sure you set up some day trips, or just some things to do that are going to fill up your entire days, and maybe spread them out over your time there. I'm sure you won't go and stay as long as I did, but if you're going for like a week, I would say 3 or 4 activities is a good start, and then, you know, hang out the rest of the time, or use that time to explore on your own rather than set up an activity where you have to be at this place to meet these people and go to this. Not everybody loves to be on a schedule like that. I know I hate it, if you can't tell already. So set up some day trips. So something I learned while living there was that I don't need to spend more than a month anywhere. When I set off on this journey, the plan was/is to spend 1 to 3 months everywhere I go. And after my 3rd week in Medellin, I was legit getting restless, like, all right, I'm ready to go to the next place. Now, it could just be because, you know, Medellin is not somewhere where I can see myself staying an extended period of time. Maybe I will go to a country or city like Paris or anywhere in France and see myself being there for like 4, 5, 6 months. Not that that is legally possible for me, but so maybe that place will come. But I kind of felt like, all right, a month is like perfect. A month actually may be pushing it, but I want to spend a minimum of a month everywhere. So yeah, I learned that about myself. So if you plan on doing a similar adventure like I did, maybe start off with a month, or don't go past 6 weeks before you really experience it and know exactly what you like. So the main thing that everyone, they didn't even wonder before I went, they just told me that it wasn't. And I feel like if you have not visited a city, you cannot tell me whether or not it really is safe. Everybody wants to know, is it safe? And as a solo female traveler, I probably get more questions than the normal couple traveling, or someone who actually speaks Spanish traveling, or is from South America. I do think me being able to blend in kind of anywhere I go, like there are black people everywhere. I don't know if you know that, but like pretty much everywhere except for like Russia, where you'll see one every now and then, but there are black people all over the world. So usually when I go places, people are addressing me in their language because they assume that I'm just from there. Even if they see me with a bag, they probably think I'm just returning. So especially in Colombia, where there are a lot of Afro-Colombians, more in Cartagena I noticed than in Medellin, but we are everywhere. So that probably played a part in, you know, people saying certain things to me or bothering me maybe, or thinking I'm a tourist or a gringo, as they call all foreigners. That probably played a big part in it. And as far as then thinking that they could take advantage of me in some way, I don't know. I don't know the people's intentions, and I don't think anyone had any ill intentions, except when like I'm getting charged double the price for cabs, which I will always be pissed at that. And it's just something I have to deal with as a foreigner in these places. So, is it safe? I would say yes. Bad things happen. Yes, bad things happen everywhere. But bad things happen in Colombia every day. I don't know if I should say this. I kind of don't want to, but I need to be honest. So, a couple days after I left, I think I was in Cartagena at the time, and someone posted in the expat group that there were two guys who were drugged in Medellin. One of them ended up dying, and the other he was in the hospital at the time. I don't even know if he was conscious, but he was in the hospital. And yeah, that's a thing that happened. And I want to say, I can't remember exactly which area, but I want to say it happened in an area that I was in a couple times. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if they were at a bar or something and someone put something in their drink, but it happened. I'm sure last night someone who looked just like me here in DC got kidnapped or murdered or something. Like, so many things could happen to you, but they haven't, and they don't, knock on wood. So I feel like I'm in the same situation anywhere. I was just living in New York, one of the most dangerous cities on earth, for 3 years. Nothing happened, but everything could have happened to me. I feel like it's the same with anywhere that I go, or anywhere that I've been. I mean, there are some places where I'm hesitant because of that danger factor, but Medellin, as usual, I have to, you know, sound like a broken record. It felt like one of the safest places, you know, I could go. There were places where, just like here in DC, I know I'm not going down that block after a certain time of night, or it's dark outside, or I don't know anybody here, or it looks sketchy. Let me not. Like, just use your common sense, and I think for the most part, you will be fine. Common sense won't always get you everywhere, but all I can say is try to be smart about the things that you do. Be wary. Look at where you're going. Don't be flashy. And like that's everybody's number one tip. Don't be flashy. One thing that the locals kept doing, and it gets on my nerves, like, put your phone away. Don't keep your phone up. Don't show. Like, apparently phone theft is big there, but so is like pickpocketing in Europe, Western Europe. So I really don't know. And everywhere I go, I have my phone out. Like, I need to look at my map, or I'm vlogging or something. So I'm not like waving it around or like, please come take my phone, but I do have it out. And unless it's like really, really dark and I'm in a neighborhood that looks crazy suspect, then I'm gonna have my phone in my hand. Like, I'll keep a tighter grip on it or something. Or if I don't need it, if I absolutely don't need it, I'll put it in my pocket or my bag or something. But the locals will scare you more than anyone else. And they're just looking out for you. I understand that. But I feel like people project their fears onto me so much And I'm sure this happens to plenty of, not even just solo travelers, plenty of travelers. But even before I went to Colombia, and I mentioned it to someone who I unfortunately turned on to the show Narcos, so like they watch that more than I do now, and they're like, Colombia, what about the cartel? I want to say that the Mexican cartel, which we've all been to Mexico several times, I want to say that the Mexican drug cartel is like way worse than Colombians right now. But yeah, it's not that serious. Don't go down the street yelling Pablo Escobar or obnoxious shit. Just go there with an open mind. It is literally just a regular city, a regular country. To visit. Like, nothing special going on there. They have their good moments and they have their bad moments, and just like anywhere else, it is Colombia. So yeah. So guys, just to recap, I want to say it does not rain every day in the city of Eternal Spring. It is helpful to know some Spanish. Day trips are important. I want to say whether or not you're in Medellin, Cartagena, wherever you stay, it can kind of get a little stagnant if you're there for a long period of time. I personally do not need to stay anywhere longer than a month. And yes, coming from a black solo female traveler, I would say Medellin and Cartagena. I can't speak for all of Colombia. I would say the two cities that I visited are safe. There are extremely sketchy areas, places where you may get mugged, but I don't feel like I'm going to get murdered or anything, where you should look out for. And in those places I'm thinking of, I would probably pass better than maybe a white person would. So, just use your common sense, be safe, be careful, and don't be flashy. I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.